Hello class 8 students, welcome back to your language online class. Today we will be dealing with comprehension. Now students, as I was trying to tell you on the in the very first class of mine with you all, that in your question paper which will be following exactly the ICSE pattern from class 8 onwards, along with essays, letters, comprehension will also come. Okay, along with essays, letters, and many more other things, grammar, notice writing, okay, mail writing. This comprehension is also an inevitable part which is going to come for your exam. So I expect that all my students have a very thorough knowledge of what is a comprehension, because you have learned about comprehension, you have solved comprehension many times from your lower classes. But again, in this online class of mine with you all, I would like to share and revise of what is a comprehension. Now students, the comprehension is nothing but our ability to understand something. Okay, I repeat, comprehension is our ability to understand or to comprehend, because the word comprehension comes from the base word comprehend, and we all know comprehend means to understand something. Okay, now when you are sitting for the comprehension, you have to make few rules for solving it. Firstly, you have to decode what you are reading in the passage. Next, you have to make connections, okay, between what you are reading and what you already know. And third, you have to ponder on that what you have read in the passage, because a deep pondering is needed while you are reading the passage. Okay, now the purpose of reading comprehension is getting meaning, because students, when you are sitting for the exam, you will be given the question paper 15 minutes before. Now those 15 minutes are mainly utilized intelligently and wisely by the students for reading the question paper. Now during that 15 minutes, you will be reading the whole question paper, and you will be getting to know that which essay you will be solving, which letter you will be attempting, and also you can utilize the time in reading the passage of the comprehension. Now when you are reading the passage of the comprehension, you have to get the meaning of the written text which is there on the question paper, okay, to develop your knowledge and skill. And while you are reading, always keep in your mind that reading comprehension involves three type of understanding. Okay, one will be your literal meaning, which you need to understand. Next will be your inferential meaning, and third will be your evaluative meaning. Okay, now there are various skills required in solving a comprehension, because until and unless you have the skills which I will be mentioning you, it will become a very problematic task for you to solve a comprehension. The first comes while you are sitting to solve a comprehension is summarizing. You have to summarize that what you have read in the passage within your mind. Okay, then you have to sequence it one after the other. The ideas one after the other you have to sequence. Next comes your inferencing of the total matter that you have read in the passage. After you infer about the whole thing, then you have to compare and you have to contrast between one ideas with the other, detailed in the passage. And as you are doing that, you have to simultaneously draw conclusions about what the passage is all about. Okay, you have to draw conclusion that what the passage is trying to give a knowledge or give a notion on the mind of the readers. Then you have to question yourself. That is called self questioning. You have to ask yourself that what is the passage all about? What is the knowledge that I have gathered after reading the whole passage? Then you have to start solving the problems. Okay, with relating the background knowledge that you have gathered after reading the total passage. Okay, now these skills are particularly important, okay, for comprehending what the passage is all about. Until and unless you have the skills within yourself, it will become quite a problematic task to focus and to encourage yourself in solving a correct passage. Okay, now what I can say over here is that a comprehension will be followed by few questions, right? Before the questions, you will be asked to find out the meanings of few words. Those words will be mentioned in the passage, and after reading the passage, whatever meanings you understood for the words, you have to write it down. You have to put your pen for the writing the meanings of those words. Now, one thing students always keep in your mind, that words which will be asked to you to write down the meaning will not be always very easy for you. Maybe the words will come that for the first time you are knowing. Then that time what will be your foremost task? Your foremost task will be to find out the word in the passage and to correlate the meaning of the word with the meaning of the passage. And it will be mentioned in the question paper, on the question paper, that always it's not a compulsion that you have to make out or you have to bring out the meaning of the word in a single word. You can put out the meaning of the question word in 2 or 3 words as required. I repeat, as required. Okay. Now, when after attempting the word meanings, you will be given few questions. Those questions will be very much related with the passage. Right. Now, when you are reading the question, as I often tell in the class, when you are reading the passage, that time only get a thorough knowledge of what the passage is all about. Then you go through the questions part. And as you go through the questions part, once again you go through the passage. Because second time when you are sitting and reading the passage, that time in your mind is filled with all the questions. Okay. Now, as your mind is filled with all the questions, second time when you are sitting and reading the passage, you can very well point out the answers of the question which have been mentioned on the question paper. Okay. Now, third time, after you mark all the answers of the questions, third time what will be your next task? Third time will be again to read the question on the question paper and to find out the bracketing that you have done on the passage is the right one or not. Okay. And after you put the bracketing, next responsibility of yours is to pen it down on the paper, on the answer paper. Okay. Now, before you pen down all the informations of the vocabulary, all the informations of the passage, you have to make it point wise. Because students always keep it in mind, it's a very bad habit of blankly copying the exact words and lines of the passage. Because as you may have done it in lower classes, class 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but this habit you have to totally forget, because now you are in class 8. Class 8, it's a senior class and you are up to the syllabus of ICSE. Now, what your work will be not to exactly copy back the portion of the passage on the question paper. Instead, you have to understand the summation of the portion and to pen it down in your own words, with your own vocabulary, with your own understanding. Okay. Now, with this understanding, as you put forward your own understanding in your own language, it will be very easy for you to grab the attention of the teacher. As I've always told you students, when you write for the answer paper, you are the writer, and we teachers, when you sit down to read your answers, we are the readers. As if you are the teacher and we are the students. With your answers, with your knowledge, with your written explanation, you are trying to teach you are trying to teach us. That time we are not the teachers, we are the students. Okay, with till here for today, I hope I have given you little bit knowledge about what is a comprehension. We will be continuing with it in the next following class. Next class again I will be trying to give you little bit more information on what is the comprehension, then precis writing. But we have to stop today here. Try to listen to what I have taught you today in the online class. Okay, and also try to open any book which is in the reach of your hand and try to sit and try to solve for the comprehension. Till then, enjoy a good health and enjoy a peaceful mind. Take care students. Love you all.